Laning, mechanics, objective control, macro, meta-knowledge, the list goes on. There's so many topics to cover on how to get better at League, yet one of, if not the most important topic for improvement is hardly ever discussed: our emotions. The anxiety you feel when the enemy Fiora has 3 kills over your Scion, or the anger you experience when your Janna is 10 feet behind you the whole laning phase. Emotions play a huge part not just in our daily lives, but how quickly we improve in any video game. It's a vast topic that I want to start discussing, especially because of how much it personally affects me on a daily basis when I play. Today, let's focus on the consequences of emotional decision making, as even I've lost games in low elo as a challenger player when I leave my emotions in the driver's seat. Towards the end of the video, I'll share a personal tip that I've found to be helpful in reducing how often I tilt, which I think will help a lot of people remain as objective as possible. Let's get started. This is not the main game we'll be reviewing, but there is a great moment during this Pantheon game that highlights what I want to discuss quite nicely. Let me give you the context real quick. The enemy Anivia got first blood, and very quickly into the game, tensions got high, and my Yasuo said the whole "ping me again, I dare you" bit. And what do you think my teammates did? Of course they pinged him. Not only did my Yasuo immediately begin trolling the game, but my Vayne wasn't playing too hot either and was 0-4 at 6 minutes. We've all been there, guys. Believe me, I wish this was the story of how I carried the impossible game so I could clickbait my video, but it just wasn't meant to be. Mostly because I suck at Pantheon. But there is a perfect moment during this game that clearly highlights what I want to talk about. At some point, the enemy team made it very clear that they're going to push top with Rift Herald. I'm going to let the Hector doing the commentary explain why I'm not going to defend here. I'm actually just going to let them shove. I could go help defend, but the problem is, like, what do I do on my own? Like, once my whole team reacts, that's when we'll go. So we'll go defend the inhibitor tower. Okay, so there's no point in me going just yet, and we just need to wait for others to respond. Unfortunately, then I watch my Maokai get caught out and die. I'm gonna ask all of you a question based on this situation. If we were reviewing strictly Maokai here, whose fault is it that he died? His, right? You can say whatever you want, that his team should be there defending or whatever, but no one was there to help him yet and he walked up. Okay, I'm sure most of us can objectively agree that if this Maokai is looking to improve at the game, that he shouldn't be there regardless of what his team is doing. But what if I were to ask that Maokai player directly? What do you think he would say? Generally, there's only 2 answers the actual player being reviewed would give you. One would be the denial answer, where he'd just blame his death on his team not being there to help him. I like to believe that most people watching Skillcapped content are past that kind of answer. Or 2, and the more difficult issue to deal with would be he might say something like, "Yeah, I shouldn't have died here, but I was pretty tilted, no one was helping me." And this is the major issue I want to discuss. Very often, players know that what they're doing is incorrect, but at the same time, they still do it anyways for some emotional reason within the game. Which is why I'm covering this topic in this video. It doesn't matter how much you learn by watching Skillcapped if you still make the wrong decision even when you know it's wrong. Now we'll be going over the game where I played really emotionally and eventually lost because of it. After you see just how detrimental it is to your gameplay, I'll cover the tip that I use to try and overcome this overly common issue. Because I'm playing jungle, I start off the game doing a basic rundown of what I'm planning to do. So I am going to path towards top lane. It's Darius with no TP. Generally you want to camp lanes that don't have teleport, but also because like my bot lane is going to shove in really hard, my mid lane is going to lose really hard, so like the only lane I can really gank pre-6 is top lane. Pretty simple, right? It was just the basic who am I playing around this game type of stuff that we always do. So I make my way up to top lane and get his summoners despite missing my Q. But because he's not running teleport and the wave is frozen on him, Darius tilts and walks back in the lane hoping to at least crash the wave. So I kill him. Okay, here's the point of the game where I start to lose focus and my emotions start to get the better of me. Or he's just going to teleport back. I'm actually just going to let him teleport back. If I take this wave, he loses too much. Yeah, he should just TP back. Like, if he stayed with me, I would have helped him finish shoving. Like, he should have stayed. Wait, is he trolling? Everything he did was bad. I assumed he wanted to teleport back for the wave. Looking back on this, I should have just finished shoving the wave on my own. Urgot would be losing the lane in that case because of how much experience he's giving up. But I was overthinking this and thinking that he would like teleport back or he had this grand scheme or something. I was giving the guy a lot of credit. But obviously he didn't teleport back, so now he's in a really vulnerable position where the wave is frozen against him, and Darius is pretty strong at all ins if you're extended in the lane. So I adapt my jungle pathing, I do the enemy raptors into the enemy Krugs, so that I am topside to help out my Urgot in case he needs it. As I predicted, he was getting all in, so I'm at least there to trade 1 for 1. A bit later on, as I'm killing Yasuo in mid lane, we see Zac walk through a ward right into a free Urgot kill. Keep these things in mind as I go into my topside jungle. There's a huge wave at Urgot's tower, and Zac just took Gromp in front of my face. How do you think I respond here? Yep, I queue in, hoping for God knows what. I'm not sure what I was hoping to do here, and I end up dying because obviously Darius has priority. Notice the map. Instead of running it down and giving Darius a free shutdown, I could have just went and farmed my entire bot side jungle and Scuttle Crab. But no, I'm slightly upset, so I have to go die for no reason. Because I couldn't carry the early game due to my death, the game becomes another solo queue classic. I have 100% kill participation because no one else on my team can do anything without me. Which all leads to this particular moment. We set up a kill on Darius, helping my Kassadin somewhat back into the game. Then I see the enemy team sieging mid lane, so I want to go grab blue for some mana before I go flank them. But as I do, my teammates get caught in mid and they die needlessly. Here it comes again. What do you think I do as a response to my teammates dying? Yep, Hector, yep, you're definitely gonna clear this wave as Vi on your own, for sure. Wow, that's crazy, Hector, I can't believe that didn't work out for you. Despite those 2 emotional deaths, I remained strong enough to carry. The game was still easily winnable if I just looked for picks and stalled for Kassadin and Soraka to scale to late game. Or I could get a pick, go into the jungle by myself to try and get blue buff, then die, bait my teammates as well, and give Baron for absolutely no reason. That seems like a much better idea. Okay, hopefully you get the point by now. I'm not saying I would have 100% carried this game if I didn't tilt, but I ruined multiple chances to snowball by letting my teammates' actions get to me. Okay, so what you can do about it is very simple. To reduce the chances of this happening to you, you should try practicing mindfulness. Basically, every time I die, I try to ask myself 2 questions. 1. Did I know this was a bad play as I was making it? 2. If yes, then why did I make that play? Let's go through my emotional deaths this game and see what I was saying real time to get an idea of what it may sound like to do this. I shouldn't even be looking topside anymore. My Urgot is just he's proven himself incompetent over and over. But that's my fault for dying there, right? That, I think, is an example of me doing it very poorly. I was way more focused on Urgot than myself. What I should be saying to myself is something like, my fragile ego took a hit that this platinum Zac took my Gromp, therefore I lashed out and ran it down. I wasn't going to say that in a commentary that was meant to educate people, but that's definitely what I was thinking as I decided to go die there. Let's see what I said during the second death. Oh man, that was a good hook. I should have not been emotional. I was really emotional there. I got angry that my team died for no reason, and then I wanted to save the tower. To so we don't lose everything, right? It's just like an emotional play. Okay, Hector, that's a little more like it. I was clearly very aware that I had a bad, I need to make up for my teammates' mistakes mentality and saw how detrimental it was to my gameplay. Okay, let's wrap things up by looking at the last death. I tilted. I definitely wanted to carry, but I needed blue buff to carry. So I tunneled really hard on the blue buff. This game is just a tilt fest by me. To clarify what I'm saying here, I was super fixated on the idea that I need to hard carry my underperforming teammates. As you know, I usually do. But that thought is actually what cost me the game. The relaxed Hector would have just recalled after the Yasuo pick and waited for the enemy team to keep throwing. Okay, so you talk to yourself after every death and you have a nice feelings moment with yourself. How would that help you at all? What it does is it makes you much more in tune with the decisions you're making and why you're making them. Like that previous Pantheon game, just listen to the difference. Poggers, positive mentality goes a long way. Yasuo's just been farming top this whole time, he might be super strong now. Nice. Can we Baron? We could Baron if Yasuo came, but I don't think he's gonna come. He's not gonna come. We just need a base. As you can hear, I'm just being super objective about the game, not at all mad that my Yasuo trolled since level 2. I made the best decisions I could, and we finally brought the game back, getting us... Nope, I'm kidding. We lost because Vayne stopped auto-attacking Baron. Yep, that is why I was tilted the whole night, and that is why I was tilted during the Vi game. Okay, it's the part we've all been waiting for. If you want to support me and Skillcapped, then consider signing up to our website and join our community. You can watch the depressing games from this guide in full and over 100 more Smurf commentaries, along with all 800 plus guides, direct pro coaching, and an improvement guarantee when actively using Skillcapped. And that's going to be a wrap on this video. If you guys enjoyed this type of content, let me know, as I love talking about my feelings. If not, that's cool, it'll just be a one-of. See you next time.